Well, just as meditation has been wrongly translated in English from a word dhyana, transmission is also, I would not say wrongly translated, but it is the closest translation you can have. What are we transmitting? Transmission means something that is being transmitted. What is this transmitted entity? Is it energy? Is it prana? How does it help us? So to explain this, I'll have to explain to you a bit differently. See, just as to nourish my physical body, I take balanced diet. I take diet which is healthy, more nutritious. I take vitamins, minerals. I look after my body with physical exercise. Okay, that's one part of it. Behind this physical body, we have the nervous system, the mind. There's a brain component and there's a mind component to it. Brain is physical, mind is subtle. What can enrich this mind? What can enrich my intellect? What can enrich my consciousness? We interact. We go to university, we go to colleges. We interact with elders. In olden days, when people were being educated, they didn't go to school or colleges or universities. They learned from their parents, they learned from their elders in the villages. That's how they learned various vocational items. Now, when you go further, what supports this consciousness? Then we understand the concept of life force, or Atman, or the soul as we call in English. How do we enrich the soul? We know how to enrich the physical body, we know how to enrich the mind, but how do we enrich the soul? Babuji Maharaj and his master Lalaji, they reinvented this method through which they are able to transmit this life force, pranasya pranaha, soul of the soul. And individuals who are in touch with the source, the yogis of very high caliber, they can connect with the source and transmit it. We experience that whenever we close our eyes and become receptive to this transmission. It simply takes us to a different dimension in very short time. If you like to conduct an experiment in your community, it's too late for you to now experiment on yourself, because now you are connected somehow. The moment you close your eyes and think of transmission, it will come to you. So you cannot do this experiment which I am proposing to you, but you can select 5 or 10 individuals in your community and tell them to meditate as per whatever method they like. Give them 5-6 different methods and continue this experiment half hour every day for 10 days. Let them write their best experience. Later on, same 5 or 10 individuals, you make them meditate with this heartfulness way of meditation, with transmission, with this yogic transmission, and see what happens to their experience. That will show you the difference in consciousness, that this, because of this transmission, how our consciousness changes rapidly within half an hour. You see, we had done these experiments long time back, where we had measured the EEG graph, electroencephalograph, where they put probes on your brain, on your head, and they measure the graph. Graph measures the electromagnetic changes that happens in your brain. Because whenever you think or whenever there's a mental activity, it creates electromagnetic field. that can be measured on this EEG. Now, when a child is connected through these probes, you will be able to see multiple, these spikes, almost 30 to 40 hertz per second. When you're reading a nice book and you're relaxing under a tree, and you're so absorbed reading a book, and if those probes were connected to your brain, you'll be able to see 10 to 12 hertz per second. Now, if you're going to sleep, just about to go to sleep, then it will come down. These mental activities will come down, and so these EEG spikes will also come down to maybe 8, 10, and when you're in a very deep sleep, you might have 3 to 4 hertz per second. Now, when we meditate as per this heartfulness way, and when we receive this transmission, we immediately go into a state as if you are in deep sleep. It's mimicking the delta wave in meditation. See? Even if you're a newcomer and a first-time meditator, within few minutes you will enter into this delta wave mode. And what is this delta wave? Ordinarily, if you are not meditating, delta wave will come only when you are in deep sleep. But when you are meditating as per our method with transmission, then this delta wave will appear during meditation. It only shows that you are extremely relaxed as if you are sleeping, but you are not sleeping, because all of us are aware during meditation. So that is the beauty of transmission, you see. It can change our consciousness instantly and takes us to a different dimension altogether. I don't think there are instruments that can measure the changes that happens beyond the delta wave. But transmission can do all that. We may not be able to measure it, but we all can feel the impact of transmission. Earlier someone was talking about bliss. How are you going to measure the bliss on EEG? It's very difficult.